welcome. Who's here already? How's everyone doing today? Let's see. Oh, we got Superfluous. Hello. Let's see. Who was the first person? Was Dre, Stan, Gene, Moa, Carrot, Bunny, Beast, I got 7 Vamps. I guess that's a really long name. Hello. You were the first to say hello in the chat today. Welcome. We'll get started right at 2 o'clock. So that's about 10-15 minutes from right now. Before that, I'll just give a few announcements. We're going to be learning about an advanced level topic today. That does not mean you have to be advanced level to learn it. It'll mean it's in the advanced level for people who are able to use it in their normal conversations. I use it. Other people who are intermediate level, I've heard use it. So it's not necessarily the most difficult grammar form you're ever going to learn. And I'll do my best to make it as simple as possible. Again, I always try to make the advanced lessons as simplified as possible, but this one I feel like I did a pretty good job, so you should still be able to understand it no matter what your level is. Using it, though, will be a different issue. Yeah, so I'm pretty excited about the lesson today. It should be fun. Amy Lynn from New York, hello. Maryland. Sue says, even though I'm at a beginner level, I'd still like to come check out the live stream that you're doing. I can still learn something. Yes, you'll definitely still learn something from the lesson, even if you're not a intermediate or advanced level learner yet. Hey, Lynn, long time no see. How's it going? And Bonnie, I'm reading Percy Jackson right now, and just yesterday I came across this form for the first time. I assume you mean you're reading it in Korean. I would be really surprised if you're reading Percy Jackson and this form comes out in the English edition. Percy's like, hey, I found this form that I think will lead us to the next clue. And everyone was just like, dude, what are you talking about? We don't speak Korean. Yeah, so I'll be doing my best to simplify this for everyone out there. So don't worry if you see this form and you're thinking, you see the title, it's advanced. You see this, you see me, you see my face. You know, look, I'm not a native. I can do it. You can do it too. So yeah, we'll be doing that today. And of course, just like every live stream, there is a worksheet and outline available on Patreon. So I always encourage everyone to support me on Patreon just because frankly, YouTube doesn't pay very much money. So I do rely on Patreon support to help make this channel. And if you are a patron, though, I do give a special thanks. I let you get access to all of the outlines for every outline, for every outline for every stream. That's what I was trying to say. And today's will also be up there as soon as the live stream is over. It'll have every single explanation I use, every form, every example sentence, everything. It is what I use, it's what I write, and what I use when I teach. So these are all up on the Patreon. You can find links to all of them. Well, let me put the link. There we go. Links to all of them in the Google document that I have, and I put a link to that in the chat box. So check that out. You can find every single one I've ever done. And yeah, there are a lot. I think I'm getting close to like 200, or maybe I've already done 200. Live streams. I have to check again, but yeah, there are a lot of live streams. Also, there is a Discord channel. I'll also link to that. It is completely free. It is completely Korean stuff. I don't know where I was going with that. You can practice Korean with other people who are learning it. You can get corrections for your questions. You can post your goals and help yourself be accountable to keeping them. There's a whole accountability channel in the server as well. We just started that actually last month. So make sure to check that out as well. That's also all completely free. So I don't know how many times I'm going to say check it out, but check it out. I also have, if you'd like another way to support me, I also have merchandise. Let me see. Let me put something up here. Let's do KeyCat. Yes. Cool. KeyCat. There's a lot more stuff though. That's my favorite for right now. That's what I'm picking right now. You can get merch there. It's just another way to support me. And I don't know, maybe turn down your heater this winter and put on a hoodie instead. You might save some money actually with how expensive gases. So, other announcements are, if you want to ever check the live schedule, so you want to know when's the next live stream, make sure to check out that Google document I also posted. It'll have not only the previous week's live stream, every single previous live stream, but it'll also have the upcoming live stream. Not the topic necessarily, but the dates for that. So make sure to check that out too. You can always know at least a few weeks in advance which week there is and isn't a live stream. And that leads me to the next thing I'm going to be announcing is that we've done 2 live streams now. We did one last week. We're doing one today. Next Sunday, there is no live stream. That's right. Again, next Sunday, no live stream. And I always do that. I always take a break. I always take a week off every time I do like 2 or 3. Lately, it's every 2 live streams. And this time, I'm actually going to be filming some videos. I'm excited to post them, say about a week and a half from today. Hopefully, I'll be able to put up the first one. And I'll just give you a hint as to what I am filming this week. That the videos, there will be 7. I'll just tell you, there will be 7 videos coming up. The first one will be a week and a half from today. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Just that there are 7 videos coming up. Maybe that gives you a hint as to what it is. Okay. Perfect plot twist for Percy Jackson. Yeah, I would like to see Percy Jackson learns Korean. That'll be a true challenge for him, I think. You know, like saving the world, all that cool stuff. Nah, try learning this, Percy. Try learning advanced Korean grammar. See how you do at that, huh? Just like Harry Potter. Can you imagine if, like Harry Potter, they go to the Hogwarts, and he's got all these, like, he's got magic making, but, you know, he also has to get his general ed requirements. So, you know, he has like math 301, history 102, and then he has to pick an elective. So he chooses Korean, and he's going, like right now he's in, you know, Korean 102 or something like that. I'd like to see that movie. Why? I don't know why we didn't get that movie. J.K. Rowling, I guess, is busy doing other things. Not cool things. Like, what would be cool would be having all the characters trying to learn Korean. I think that would be interesting. Get like a teacher, kind of like another Snape, who's the teacher, and they're like trying to make sentences and they just fail. He almost gets held back a grade in Hogwarts because he can't pass his Korean class. I want to see that movie. Why didn't we get that? All we got is like magic and flying around and stuff. We never actually had to see Harry Potter like deep in a book, just like scratching his head being like, Ita or Ida? Hagrid, can I get some help with this? I don't speak Korean, Harry. We didn't get these books, and I'm upset about it. Netflix, write that down. Yeah, Netflix is already doing it as we speak. The Untold Stories of Harry Potter. It has all of his elective classes. So you've got Harry Potter Learns Korean, but then you've also got Harry Potter enrolls in 1 semester of track and field, but he doesn't, it's really tiring, so he doesn't wake up most days for the practice, and he ends up failing that class, but it teaches him an important lesson about setting an alarm. Then you got to get Harry Potter takes home ec, because he enrolled by mistake. He was trying to enroll, he thought Hermione was enrolling in home ec, but he messed up, and he enrolled in it, and she enrolled in a different class. So he's in the home ec class, but he actually likes it because he learns how to cook cool things. So everyone else is like hungry and all the time, and Harry Potter's like, hey, Ron, let me make you a baked tater, something like that. These are the movies. These are the stories that I wish were told that we didn't really get. Percy fights Kumiho. Yeah, we could see that. I can imagine that. I'd like to see a Tokebi or a Kumiho in some sort of modern media that's not a Korean drama. I would like to see that. Do they even have home economics? I don't know. I probably not. But Harry Potter's kind of like, it's a fantasy world, so you know they can do whatever they want, I guess. Harry Potter and the Curse of Unwanted Electives. Yeah, he's got to fill those electives or else he can't graduate. Because you know the potion class only gives you so many credits, but he has to get 12 credits for the semester for graduation. And so yeah, it kind of, you know, funny things happen. I don't have time to make potions, Ron. I've got to study for this test tomorrow. Something like that. I'd like to see it. I'd watch it. It would certainly be better than what is it? The Beasts movie. I don't even remember the title of it. Okay. Rania says, I'm following your free Korean course online, but when I take notes, I'm a perfectionist, which slows down my learning process a lot. I can take quick and efficient notes. I see what you mean. Yeah, I can't really help you there. If you're going to make yourself be a perfectionist, you're never going to learn much through the method of like studying with books and grammar lessons. You can't be a perfectionist when you're learning that way. In fact, you can't really be a perfectionist the whole time anyway, for any sort of method you're learning. There just has to be a point where you tell yourself that you are never going to perfect anything because natives don't perfect it either. And in fact, the more Korean that you learn, the more you'll realize that Koreans themselves don't follow those rules, that they don't use them. But you have to learn them so that you can know how to break those rules. You can't simply go straight to breaking the rules because then you're going to break them in the wrong places. So you can be perfectionist about the fact that you're going to keep learning. You can be perfectionist that, oh, I'm not satisfied with my Korean, I'm going to learn more. But about the lessons themselves, that's not going to help you speak better Korean because Koreans don't know them either. Even the forum I'm telling you about today, there's an alternative version of it, which we're going to cover, which is actually a wrong, I'll say wrong in quotes. It's not considered academically correct. You can't use it in essays, but it's commonly, Koreans use it anyway. Trying to see if there's another example related to this form though. Probably not with this form. Yeah, there are just a lot of things that you'll learn that this is the grammar. This is how you do this. This is how you space it. This is the situation you use it in. And then when you've learned enough Korean, you'll realize there are situations when no, they don't, that's not actually how it works. And if you're being a perfectionist about the form, you're going to miss out on that. And I'm saying that's a good thing. You need to be open to those alternative ways of using forms because most grammar forms have that kind of thing. Lucy asks, do you have any good resources for studying Hanja? I used to have a cat named Lucy. Studying Hanja. Yes and no. I have resources if you're already at a conversational level. If you are, let me know. I can recommend some books that I'm using or that I have used. But I don't have any resources for beginners because I didn't learn Hanja through Korean as a beginner. I learned Hanja through Japanese originally. So most of the beginning Hanja, like the really basic stuff that everyone knows, days of the week, numbers, all of that stuff, that I actually learned through Japanese first before I even knew where Korea was on a map. And then I went to Korea and did more Hanja on top of that, but it was at a higher level. It was already like I had the foundations done and now I was learning words and stuff. So the resources I have are for that. I didn't have to go through it through the beginner level. So I don't have any beginner level resources that I can personally recommend. I know though, it doesn't, at the time though, from the stuff that I used, I don't really think it's going to matter. You just can get any Hanja book that has the way to write them. You know, if you're interested in that, you just get any book that has the characters. They all have the characters. They all have some words they're used in. They all have the sound that it's made, that the character makes. And that's all you do. I just used it like a dictionary. Just, oh, today I'm learning this one. All right, today I'm learning this one. And just went through it like that. That's how I got my start. I hope the cat was cute. Yeah, the cat was really cute. Cat's name was Lucy. We used to, no, I don't know if I should share this story. I guess now I have to since I mentioned it. So we would never say Lucy. We would never say that. We'd always say Lucy whenever we called out to the cat. It was just a requirement. Lucy. We have to do that. So that's how we call my whole family. All called out to the cat, Lucy. I don't think we had her that long though. Maybe just a few years. I can't really remember actually what year it was that we had the cat. Yeah. So yeah, we never called her out as, hey Lucy. We never said that. You know, we'd have friends over. We're like, oh, let me show you my cat real quick, Lucy, like that. And our friend, we turn around to see our friend again. They're gone halfway down the block. I'm not friends with you guys anymore. All right, so let's get started with our lesson today. The prerequisites for this lesson, since it is an advanced lesson, is that you're familiar with all fundamental grammar in order to use this form. Now, what does that mean? That means that you can have basic conversations. That's really it. I would say that's the bare minimum requirement for using this form yourself. Not just to make it, put it together and multiple choice, get it right, not that sort of thing, but actually being able to use it in a conversation. I would say being at a basic conversational level would be the bare minimum. To understand this form, however, you can be at any level, and I'm going to do my best to simplify it even if you're a beginner. So don't worry if it's advanced, don't get scared by that. I'm going to make this as simple as possible. So even if you can't use it in your conversations, even if you can't have conversations yet, you'll still be able to understand perfectly what it means. So we're going to be actually going over two forms today. The first form is the base of the second form we're going to be using. Now, the first form, you do not need to know how to make it, but I'm going to tell you how it works anyway. The first form is you take a verb stem and you attach 으락 if it ends in a consonant, or you just attach lak if you can't talk, or you just attack it, or you just attach lak if it ends with a vowel, and then you repeat the exact same thing and you stick them together. That's pretty much all the form is. Now, this form, again, you do not need to memorize how to make this form, because you will never be making this form on your own. Every single verb that uses this form has its own dictionary entry. It's already a separate word. So if you ever see a word that uses this form, just search it in the dictionary. It will be there, I promise you. This form is not used in normal Korean conversation. That's not what I mean. This form is not something that you use to make new combinations in a conversation. So you only need to be able to recognize it. But this is how it works basically. What this form does is it shows that two verbs are related to each other. So you'll have two verbs here. Both of these have something in common. However, these verbs, while they have something in common, they are actually working against each other. So this will be like two verbs that are kind of common, but opposites. So think up and down, going and coming, blue and red. That's sort of opposite. And the way it works is, again, they are working against each other, but not at the same time. Verb stem, 으락. Verb stem, 으락. Verb stem, 으락. Verb stem, 으락. 으락, 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 으락. These verbs are working against each other, one after the other. So you do verb, and then you do verb, and then you do verb, and then you do verb, kind of like they're going back and forth like a seesaw. That's the image that I want you to have in your mind. It's like the verbs are working against each other on a seesaw. Okay, I said that every single one of these verbs will have its own separate entry in the dictionary. So you don't have to actually make new forms using this. There are only a few verbs that use this form as well. I was able to find, I think, only 5 examples. There might be a few more, but I found just 3 commonly used verbs that use this form. So you might be thinking, well, if it's only used a few times, why bother teaching it to us? It's because this is the same form that we're going to be learning next. I just want to let you know exactly where it comes from. Okay, So there are only a few verbs, a very small number of verbs that use this form. I'm going to give you the most common 3. I want you to guess what this means. You might have seen some of these before, especially if you're an intermediate speaker. You may have seen one of these before and you might have just thought it's a brand new specific verb, but now you can see exactly what it means. 오락가락, 오락가락하다, 오락가락하다. Can you guess what this means? Now that you know the form. Yes, Lucy got it. I want to see if you can guess it. Yeah, and again, these literally just mean what you think they mean. They don't have an extra meaning to them. They are literally just what I explained. So Wendy gave a nice guess. You said revisit. Not necessarily, just coming and going. So this one, 오다 to come, 가다 to go, 락, 오락가락하다. 오다, 가다. These are related actions, but they work against each other, and one is happening after the other. Like a seesaw. 오락가락, 오락가락. Coming and going. So you might say someone keeps coming and going with 오락가락. So you might say someone goes somewhere and comes back and is going somewhere and coming back and keeps doing that by using this verb. Okay. Here's another one. Can you guess what this one means? Oops. 오르락 내리락 하다. Can you guess what this one means? Yeah, and if it's intuitive to you, that's great, because the next form, the entire form we're going to be focusing on for this lesson will be intuitive for you as well. Just want to let you know that. That's why I'm telling you this. If I just gave you the form, you might be confused about it, but this will help it make more sense. Yeah, MJ Hammer. Up and down. So this one means 오르다. 오르다 means to go up. 내리다 means to go down. Like if you're going up the stairs, you would say 올라가다, 내려가다, to go down the stairs. So, 오르다, 내리다, 오르다, 내리다, back and forth, going up and going down. So this is to go up and down frequently. You just keep doing it. Keep going back and forth, up and down. There's one more really common verb that uses this form. This one will be more tricky to guess, but it's the same form because you might not know the original verbs that it comes from. 들락날락하다. Oh, sorry, I pronounced that wrong because of here. 들락날락하다. This one is actually the verbs 들다 and then to leave, 나다. You'll see about this in a second. I'll explain how this works in a second. So this one is entering and leaving, and then entering and then leaving, and then entering and leaving again, and entering again and leaving again. To go in or to come in and go out frequently. You keep going in and out. 들락날락하다. This is also quite common. There are a couple other verbs that I was able to find, but that I had never personally heard before. It would like something I've seen in a poem. Like another one is like if your face is 푸르그락 푸르락하다. So like red and blue. Like your face is going purple. Like if someone's like, really, really angry or whatever, your face turns purple. Well, it's like going from blue to red like that. But I've never seen it used before. Of course, I'm not native Korean, so I'm sure someone's seen it used before, but perhaps maybe like in a poem or a story. These three that I gave you, though, are going to be the most common ones that you're going to see for this form. But just know that there might be a couple more. So if you do see this in other places, know it's the same form. Anytime you see 락 in a word, it is this form. Okay. So the reason I gave you that form is because it's actually the same form that we get our main form for today's lesson. However, you'll notice that the conjugation is slightly different. Slightly different conjugation, same form. You take a verb stem and you attach if it ends with a consonant, or you'll attach a lir if it ends in a vowel. Then you'll attach 락. You'll give a space, and then you'll attach 말락, and then 하다. So now that you know that form that we just talked about, I'm going to explain where this comes from. 말락 comes from the verb 말다. 말다 means two things. It means to stop doing something, or here it just means to not do something. So you're doing a verb, 락, and then you're not doing the verb, 말락. 락, 말락. 락, 말락. Do you get it? It's doing the verb and then not doing the verb repeatedly. You're doing it, but you're not doing it. You're doing it, but you're not doing it. In English, we can translate this a number of ways. One of the common ways this gets translated is about to happen. Like something is almost happening. I'll just write them in purple here. So something is about to happen, or maybe something almost happens, but it didn't happen yet. It's going back and forth between happening and not happening. In what situation might something go back and forth between happening and not happening? Well, if it's right at the edge of happening, right? It's like dangling on the edge. Like you've got, 1 foot off and 1 foot on, and you're like, oh, like you're going to fall off, but you haven't yet. And you keep going back and forth. That's what this form is meant to imply. That something is happening or someone's doing something, but they haven't done it yet. And then at the same time, they're not doing it or it's not happening. So it's just eternally going back and forth, not happening, but right about to happen. I'm going to leave this up for a second. Someone said it's about the future. Nope. It's about right now. That's what it's doing right now. I also have a note to make about this form before I erase everything. Well, actually, right after I erase everything, I have a note to make. Okay. Any questions for right now? Any questions about this form before we go any further? On the brink of happening, on the verge of happening. You can translate it that way. There is actually another form that's used to say something is on the verge of happening, though, but this one has a different nuance to it. and a different usage. We'll see. You'll see when you see the example sentences. Lucy asks, is there a difference with 할까 말까? Yes, that's simply when you're thinking about doing something. That doesn't have to do with the actual state of what's going on. That's like, 할까? Should I do it? 말까? Should I not do it? I don't know if I should do it. 할까 말까? 고민 중이에요. I'm thinking right now if I should do it or not. That's completely different than actually doing something and not doing it, going back and forth between doing it and not doing it. You're not saying you're about to do something if you say 할까 말까 해요. Like, I'm thinking about doing it, as in I'm thinking about doing it, not that I'm about to do it. Okay, so again, this form shows that a verb is on the line between happening and not happening. Now, nobody has asked this yet, but I want to make just a quick note. This form has nothing to do with 말랑말랑하다. Zero. This is the verb just for something being very soft. So you squeeze something and it can be 말랑말랑하다. This is not the form we're doing today. But while the form is 말락, it's also really common. In fact, maybe more common to say it like this. Oops. Sorry. Did I have the space? Oh, we had I did have a space. Okay. Good. Okay. Instead of 락 and 말락, it's really common in speech. So this will not be in your formal writing, not for your essays, not for taking a test. But in your speaking, it's more common to say 랑 instead of 락. So let me just give you an example. If we have the verb 하다, you could get ha is the verb stem. It ends in a vowel, so you'd get 할, 할랑, 말랑하다. 먹다, to eat, ends in a consonant. 먹, 먹을, 먹을랑, 말랑하다. Okay. Any questions before we go on to the sentences? And I'm going to have you actually do most of these sentences today. I know that might sound like a tall order, but I feel confident. I feel like you can do these forms. So personally, I use this form like this with 랑, 랑, 말랑. But the official way is 락, 락, 말락. But you'll probably see 랑 more often. Just know that it's the unofficial version of it. Bonnie, contemplating is the 할까 말까. That's the contemplating form. Hannah says, can you use it to say something on the tip of your tongue? Yes, you can. I have an example sentence with that. In order to say something's on the tip of your tongue in Korean, you can say that you can remember it, but you're also not like you're remembering it, but then you can't remember and you kind of remember. You know what I'm talking about? So I have an example like that at the end. That'll be our last example sentence for that. Hey, 텅 빈 맥주병. 덕분에 한국어 공부가 될락말락하여 선생님과 사랑에 빠질락 말랑 아슬아슬 네. What? Thank you. Thank you. I'll just call it Tongbin. Thank you for the donation. You're the first supporter of today. 1, 2, 3 dabs for you. Okay, let me give you an example sentence. Someone who already knows how to use the form. I can totally tell. Okay. Lucy says 말랑. 말랑 is easier to say. Doesn't have a different form. It doesn't have a different meaning. It's the same thing, as I mentioned. Okay. I want you to make the very first sentence. Before I show you it, I want you to make the very first sentence. I want you to say the button. So your sentence is going to start with 단추. 단추 means a button on a shirt. This is not how you say a button on a computer or like an actual physical button. That would be just button, just like the English word button. But if you're talking about a close button, that is 단추. So I want you to say the button is about to fall off. Like the translation you're going to get for this in English is the button's just dangling. And the verb you're going to want to use is fall off. 떨어지다 is to fall or to fall off. So I want you to say the button's about to fall off. Like the button's falling off, but it's not. But it's falling off, but it's not. So if you're going to go get your clothes repaired, in fact, I've done this before. I think I've made this exact same sentence. You can go to the Susan, the repair place, and you could tell the person, hey, my button's falling off. It's about to fall off. So how would you make this sentence? Regardless of your level, I want you to give it a try. Assuming you've written down the form. If you haven't written down anything, then maybe don't try it. I don't know what you'll make. But as long as you've written down the form, go ahead and give it a try. You can use lak or lang. Both of them are perfectly acceptable. Teacup, typo. Teacup, check your spelling. Oh, and I started the sentence for you. 단추가. Okay, P-A-W-E-L got the first 100% correct sentence. Let's see who else can get it. But many other people got it right, but slightly with a typo. Check your notes for the conjugation. Many people are missing that lir, or the, it's not just lak attached to the verb stem. So make sure you check that. Wendy, nice. Robin, nice. MJ Hammer, perfect. Hannah, nice. Nice, Ayakata. Nice, Epir Bolkla. Nice, Green-Eyed. Nice, BNJ. I'm saying nice if you got it 100% perfect. So if I didn't say nice, it doesn't mean bad. It means you might have a small typo. So check the conjugation. Classic ka, you can't do it that way. That would be a different form. You could say it's like it's going to fall off, but that would be a different form. That's not saying it is about to. That's simply saying you perceive it to be that way. Teacup. A typo, but I see what you mean. You got it. You got it. Because you have a typo for the button as well as the verb 떨어지다. It has the double ticket here. Nice. Gary. Heo. Bien, heo. I see that. Yeah, I saw a typo. Hello. Almost like hello. Okay. So, excellent. I wasn't sure how it would go giving you a sentence before I've even given you one example sentence, making you form the sentence, but you did really good. Like I said, the only thing I saw was some typos with the conjugation, but I'll tell you what I was talking about. So remember that you attach the lir if it ends with a vowel, or you attach if it ends with a consonant. So many people were missing this letter right here. Not 떨어지락, but 떨어질락. The one where you simply add 으락, that's the original form, but I said that has a different conjugation. Okay. 단추가 떨어질락 말락해요. 단추가 떨어질락 말락해요. But let me ask you a question. Who knows sound change rules? You don't have to hold up your hand. What happens when you get this sound plus this sound? What happens when these letters meet together? Well, you get this. 떨어질랑 말락해요. So, regardless of whether you use lang or lak, when it's used in this construction, it's always still going to be pronounced as lang 말락 or lang 말랑. So that, my guess, is the original origin of why there are two versions of this form, is due to sound changes. You're going to say this as lang anyway. 떨어질랑 말랑 or 떨어질랑 말락. It's going to end up sounding like this anyway if you compress it and say it as one word. So that's where it comes from. So the button is 떨어지다, falling off. Not falling off, but falling off, but not falling off. So it's about to fall off. It's just like dangling there, like it's going to fall off, but it hasn't. 단추가 떨어질랑 말락해요. Hopefully this all makes sense now. Hopefully you're like, aha, I got it. Auladia, I can't pronounce your name. Can you teach me Korean one-on-one? Maybe. Hold on. I do have tutoring if you need. It's more like, I would say, language coaching. I do offer it to just a few people right now. I only have a small handful of students that are doing it. I do have some openings, but not a lot because it's within my busy schedule of filming and everything. But if that's something that interests you, you can check out the link there. Okay, next sentence. Again, I want you to complete this sentence, but I'm going to start it up for you. Okay. The verb you're going to use is 보이다. 보이다 means to be visible, but it's used to say that you can see something. Like, because it's visible, I can see it. So this one means to be visible. So I want you to finish the sentence. The moon is barely visible. So I can barely see the moon because of the clouds. 구름 때문에. So because of the clouds, 달이, the moon, is barely visible. I can kind of maybe see it, but I can't see it. I can kind of see it, but I can't. So I want to say that the moon, I can barely see the moon, or the moon is barely visible because of the clouds. Notice that here, if you only learned that this form means about to, you would have no way of translating this sentence back into English, because I can't think of any way you would say this. The moon is about to be visible because of the clouds. That doesn't even make any sense. The moon is on the verge of being visible. That doesn't make sense either. It's only if you understand the actual meaning of this form that you can do a better job of translating it. So because you know that, you'll be fine translating this form. It's not going to always be verge of or about to or almost like that. Sometimes it can be barely, or it can be something completely different, as we'll see. Okay, let's see. Who got it first? Oh, teacup. It's not, when you write it, you would have to choose if you want to use 락 or lang. When you pronounce it, it'll become lang like that anyway. But you have to make sure you write it using one or the other. Nice, Powell. First one. Okay, I have to skip a little bit ahead so we have time for everything. MJ Hammer. Perfect. Perfect, MJ Hammer. Okay, let's see who else got it. A bunch of other people got it. A lot of people got it. Nice. Nice. I'm just reading through everyone's really quick. Mimi, typo. You want to check the verb 보이다. Not 보다, but 보이다. Check here. Okay, good. That's great. Everyone did great. Well, not every single one is correct, but everyone did great. So, 보이다 ends with a vowel, so we're going to attach this, so we get 보일. So, 달이 구름 때문에 보일락 말락해요. 보일랑 말락해요. Or you could have said it as 보일랑 말랑해요 if you want, and that's fine too. So literally the moon is, because of the clouds, you can see it, but you can't see it, and you can see it, and you can't see it. So it's on the verge of being visible. But a more natural way to translate that would be just, I could barely see it. I can barely make it out. Like, I think it's there, but then maybe I actually am wrong and it's not there. That sort of meaning. And this form is actually used all over the place. I had so many good examples for this one. So many places that you'll see it used. For example, not just like something falling off, or something not being visible, or you'll see something not being audible. But check out the worksheet if you want to get, I think, another 10 example sentences for this form. There are really so many common places that you'll use it, including this next sentence we're going to do. I want you also to make this sentence. I want you to finish this sentence. My hand can almost just touch the ceiling. My hand can almost just touch the ceiling. 천장 is ceiling, hand is 손. 닿다 is to connect with, to touch, to be able to touch. 닿다. This is also a really common construction you'll use. So I would just memorize every single verb that you see used in these examples because they're all common. And then Swatters just asked, is this form common? Extremely. I'm getting some more water. Okay, let's see how everyone's going. Sophia, first person to get it perfect. I'll just give a, I'll give a shout out to whoever gets it first. That was Sophia today. Teacup, there's just a typo for the conjugation. The rest of the sentence is fine. But check your conjugation notes. Or just look at Sophia's answer because I said she got it right too. Yes, MJ Hammer, perfect. Perfect. Carrie. Oh, Carrie, check the conjugation notes. Carrie, one more time. Try it again. You're missing one syllable after. It has to do with this part. One syllable is missing. Lexica. Perfect. Hannah, remember it's 손이 because your hands are connecting with it. Your hands are touching it. So you wouldn't do 손에 because nothing's touching to your hand. You're saying your hand is touching to the ceiling. Connecting to the ceiling or contacting to the ceiling, literally. Okay. Nice, nice. Yes, yes. This one's a little bit trickier since you have to add, since it's a consonant, you're going to add lak, not just lak or lang, but in there. So sorry. Okay, so let me give you the answer. Let's use lang for this one. personally, I said whenever I use this form, I always use it with 랑, 말랑. For me, it just feels much more natural. But again, it's not the official one. And so far, all these examples are just in the 해요. Doesn't have to be. If it was past tense, you would say 달랑 말랑 했어요. Like my hand was just about to touch it. That's like if you're telling a story and my hand was just about to touch it, like that. But if you're talking about something, my hand's just barely touching it, then it's going to be present tense most of the time. 천장에 손이 달랑 말랑 해요. So my hand to the ceiling, 타타, is like to connect or to be able to touch something. So it's like it's touching the ceiling, but it's 말랑. It's not touching the ceiling, and it's like touching the ceiling, but it's not. Like it's so close. Like if you waited one more millisecond, I'll touch it, but then actually I don't touch it. Barely touching. 천장에 손이 달랑 말랑 해요. My hand it can just almost touch the ceiling. Like that. Again, you're not touching it, but it's that thin line between touching it and not touching it. That's where you're at. And for all of these, it's the same thing. Like for 떨어지다, like your button's going to fall off. It doesn't mean your button falls off and then doesn't fall off. It means it's falling off, but it's not falling off. So it hasn't actually done either. That's what it means. Okay. Does there have to be a space between the verbs? Yeah, technically for spacing rules, if you want to have accurate spacing, there's a space here and a space here. But I've seen most people just write it, space here and no space here. It should have spaces in both places. I like spacing, but you don't really have to do that. Just space how it feels right. But the official rules are that. Hey, Samantha. Samantha, is that sure or shower? Sure or shower? I'm sorry. I know you probably got that your whole life. But you're getting it again here. Thank you so much, Samantha. It's probably because it's German. I don't know how to pronounce like a lot of German names. Is it right with the OER kind of sound? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you again, Samantha. Really appreciate it. Spaces in both places. That's the official rule. Yes. Sure. Oh, that's easy. Sure, I got it. Just like Jersey Shore, but cooler and less annoying. Okay, so let's do another sentence. Okay, this next one is more difficult. So let's up the difficulty level a little bit. I'm going to give you the sentence around it, and I want you to fill in the blanks. Okay. 영희가 something 소리로 속삭였어요. 속삭이다 is to whisper. So 영희 whispered in what kind of voice? 소리 literally means sound, but it's also used for a voice, like the sound of your voice. So what kind of sound did 영희 whisper in? What kind of voice did she whisper in? Well, she whispered in a voice that I could like barely hear. Like I can almost hear it, but I can't hear it. It's so close to being understood. Like I can barely hear it. It's barely audible. Like, what are you saying, Youngie? Just speak up. But that's how she's whispering. So I want you to finish the sentence. And you'll need to conjugate it a little bit to make it fit since it's in a sentence. It's not the end of the sentence. You can't just say something 해요 because it ends with 소리. So we need to make sure that this verb here is defining, or I'd say describing. This verb here is describing what kind of 소리, what kind of voice she whispered in. Okay, let's see. Is Powell going to be first again? Yes, Powell's going to be first again. Nice, Powell. Let's see if is Bonnie going to be second? Yes, Bonnie is second. Is Lucy going to be third? Oh, so close. So close, Lucy. Just a typo with this, just the verb. You use the verb 듣다, to listen. 들리다 is to be audible, to be heard. So just check that's the typo. But great other than that. Let's check. Let's see some of the other answers. Let's see. Dion, I'm not sure what form that is you're using. Vince, let's see. And then Vince, you wouldn't do because of, you want to do something that modifies the type of voice she's using. MJ Hammer, 들릴랑 말랑한 소리. Yes, MJ Hammer, perfect. Nice. Vince, you got it? Yep. Nice, nice. Okay. I'll wait another second. 말랑한. Nice, Sophia. Sorry, if I didn't say nice, it doesn't mean not nice this time. I don't have enough time to read through every single one. Okay, let's go on. So, she whispered in a voice that was like barely audible. Like I could almost hear it. Again, you might not want to translate this as about to or on the verge of or almost in a lot of places because it'll sound awkward in those cases, especially when you're using it with passive verbs. It just doesn't translate with passive verbs very well. Oh, I got another donation. Wendy, thank you for the $2.50 donation. I'll give you 2.5 dabs for your donation. 1, 2, hit. Thank you. Appreciated. Okay. Let's see. We got one more. 영희가 들릴라. Really close. 들릴락 lexicon. Not 들리라고, but 들릴락. Yeah, I see. Typo. If that was a typo, the rest of it's perfect. So you did a good job as well. Okay. 영희가, so our friend 영희. 들릴락 말락. So 들릴랑 말락한 소리로 속삭였어요. So 속삭이다 is to whisper. 소리 is sound or voice. So in a voice that is 들릴락 말락. So 들리다 is to be audible. Something that you can hear. So you can hear it, but you can't hear it. So I can't hear it. It's like barely audible. So Young-hee whispered in a voice that I could barely hear, in a barely audible voice. 영희가 들릴락 말락한 소리로 속삭였어요. 들릴락 말락. Okay. I think every single one of these I'm going to give to you. I'm not going to do any of these by myself. Okay, the next one I also want you to do by yourself. I'll tell you what it is. Okay, this one I've written mostly already because I have a certain way I want it to be read as. So, this one is for people who wrote down the notes earlier in the lesson when I gave you the 3 common verbs that this form is used with. I'm not going to tell you what the verb is. I'm not even going to tell you what it means. This is only for people who've been here the whole lesson, who have that list of 3 verbs. Pick one that would work in here. 하면 찬바람이 들어와서 추워요. Cold wind blows in, so it's cold. If you do something, the cold wind is blowing in, and I feel cold. Tragadoondy Diaz. Tragadoondy Diaz, our newest member. Tragadoondy Diaz. It's like Crocodile Dundee, the unwanted sequel. Tragadoondy Diaz. Thank you. I'll just write Traga. Our newest member. Just Traga. Okay, yeah, that's, I figured. Let's see. Oh, Green-Eyed got it. Green-Eyed, you're the first person to get it. Now, you could do 오락가락. 오락가락 could work. But I think a better one is 들락날락. 들락날락, because that's like coming and going. Not just, sorry, coming in and leaving. I think that works better instead of just coming and going. It implies like you're entering and leaving and entering and leaving. So that would be a better one for that. Yes, Green-Eyed, very good. I did not write them down. Evan Tesseract. Shame on you, Evan Tesseract. No, I'm just joking. You can write them down after the live's over. This will be up on my channel. You can also check out the abridged version. If you're a member, you can watch, which Traga is a member. You can watch the abridged version tonight. So you don't even have to wait until Wednesday. 들락날락하면 찬바람이 들어와서 추워요. Nice, MJ Hammer. You got it as well. Yes. Okay. 들락날락하면. So if you keep coming in and leaving and coming in and leaving and coming in and leaving, like going in and out. You keep going in and out like that. 찬바람이 들어와서 추워요. 찬바람 means cold wind. 들어오다. It's like coming in. So the wind keeps coming in and it's cold. 춥다 is like to feel cold. So I feel cold. The cold wind keeps blowing in when you keep coming in and leaving. So I feel cold. Okay. And I've got one more sentence. So one more time. 들락날락하면 찬바람이 들어와서 추워요. I've got one more sentence also that you definitely cannot translate as about to. I'm trying to think of if any of these sentences can translate as about to. I guess the very first sentence, the button is about to fall off. That's the only example in this outline that I have that translates as about to. So if you just learn this as about to, you'll not be in a good place. Okay. The last sentence. I want you to make this sentence, but I'm going to give you the beginning. So just so you know what to say. So the sentence is going to be, the movie title is just on the tip of my tongue. And the verb you normally use for to remember something would be 기억나다 or 기억이 나다. So you're going to be saying something like this. The title of the movie, I can remember the title, but I can't remember. Like I can almost remember it. I'm about to remember it, but I can't. So like, it's right there. The movie title is right there. So this is how you would say something's on the tip of your tongue. 영화 제목 would be movie title. So how would you say that? Gianna got it first this time. Now I feel like it's a race since I was always calling out the first person to get it. I feel like it's a race. Like as soon as I said that, people are like, just like revving up to go. And I think Gianna got it first. I can feel it because like how fast the answers start coming in when I'll say something. Normally they'll trickle in and now it's like, I'm like waving a flag. Okay, and also, but I'm going to check out loud MJ Hammer's answer first since he's the first member that's trying it. 영화 제목이 기억날랑 말랑해요. Perfect. Evan Tesseract. Hey, Evan. I said shame on you before. I take it back. Thank you. Evan Tesseract, whose last name truly is Tesseract. Why is it flashing again? It already flashed. I think it broke. It flashed twice. Or Evan Tesseract was just so cool that it flashed twice for him. Okay, let's see who else got it. Lexica. Yes. 기억날락 말락해요. 기억날락 말락해요. Perfect, Lexica. It's my middle name. Is it really? That's pretty cool. Unlimited power is my middle name. Because everyone only knows Tesseract from, like fantasy lore, or I guess more recently would be the Avengers, the first Avengers movie. Still, cool name. If it's real, that's even cooler. Okay, so the title of the movie is on the tip of my tongue. Actually, let's do a little bit different. 영화 제목이 기억날락. This one's hard because 기억날락 말락. Since we've got all these sound change rules here, 기억날락 말락 하네요. 기억날락 말락 하네요. Yeah, it's easier to say when I actually don't try to read it syllable by syllable. 기억날락 말락 하네요. So, hey, the movie title is just on the tip of my tongue. Like, I can barely almost remember. 영화 제목이 기억날락 말락해요. Like that. Like, I can just barely remember. 기억날락 말락하네요. Sorry, they were all 해요, and I keep thinking that while I'm even reading it. 기억날락 말락하네요. Okay. So the movie title is, I can remember it, but I can't remember it. Like, it's just on the tip of my tongue. Like, it's balancing on the tip of my tongue. Okay. Again, this form might seem like it's a specialty form, but it's really common. It's one of the most, it's a more common advanced form than other advanced forms, I feel like. You'll see it a lot. And if you check out the worksheet for today's live stream as well, there's an additional 10 or so sentences that have even more useful examples that you can definitely use. But these are the ones I felt like these are the most common ones that I really wanted to share. So that's what these ones are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 examples for this. Yeah. Okay. That is the end of our lesson today. Any questions? Feel free to ask any questions about this live stream or other lessons or just anything in general. Again, really quick, the announcements are you can get this outline if you are one of my wonderful Patreon supporters who helps this channel go and help me make videos. This is available on Patreon right now. Sorry, right after the stream, this will be on Patreon, but the worksheet is available right now. Also, there is no live stream next Sunday, and I just got a donation. Amy! Wow, Amy, thank you so much. Amy Lynn from New York. I guess that's from New York. You're like, no, Billy, it's actually my name, NY. Taking back my donations. Do like a credit, like a chargeback. Thank you so much. Always appreciate your videos and classes, including your lives when you're in South Korea. Yeah, I'll do some more lives when I'm in South Korea. This time I'm also going to be doing some new videos. I have a different type of video I want to do. When I'm in South Korea. I don't want to announce it yet to spoil anything, but it should be fun. I'm going to be doing some more interview style videos this year than normal. Thank you so much. Let me do 20 dabs for you if that's okay. Let me get some music going here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Thank you. Oh, I gotta get some water. It's a lot of dabs. It's like when it's the summer, you drink a lot of extra water when it's the summer because you're sweating. But then in the winter, you drink a lot of extra water because it's dry. So, yeah. I guess the the solution is really just drink lots of water all the time. Evan Testrock says, I'm way too beginner to keep up, but I always learn a lot. Oh, I'm glad. I think it's okay to learn this form, even if you're a beginner. You don't need to necessarily try to put it in your sentences, but I think it's okay to be aware that this form exists. It's really common. I'm not exaggerating when I say I hear this form almost every day. In some form or another, obviously. Not like the exact same sentences or something. But yeah, it's used pretty common. MJ Hammer says, what football teams do you want to go to the Super Bowl? I'm sorry, when is the Super Bowl? I don't know. Does LA have a team? Yeah, I admit I don't know anything about most sports. I don't know. Bengals and Eagles. I kind of like monkeys. Is there a team that has their mascot that's just a monkey? I'll pick that. You forgot to do your thumbnail. Oh, yeah, that's right. I got to do a thumbnail. I think that'll be my thumbnail for the class. Let's see here. Thank you so much for today's lesson. Next time, I'll win the race. I knew you were racing. I knew all of you were racing when I did that. Yeah, so feel free to ask any questions. I'll stick around for about 10 minutes or so, and then we can, I'll upload the outline to Patreon. You can get that, as well as for all of you members out there, you can watch the abridged version of today's live stream. There's LA Chargers. Oh, okay. Then them. Let's go Chargers. Let's go Chargers. Let's go. That's probably their team slogan or something like that. I don't know. Hold on, let me get somewhere. Okay. Switch hands, you put a shadow on your face. Oh, from this way? Yeah, I guess probably this is better. There are lights on both sides of me though, so I mean the sun, it must be this, yeah, it must be this one. This is the sun. The sun, yeah, because I'm outside right now, that I forgot. So yeah, I'll make sure to use it on this side where there is no sun. There's a baseball team called the Rocket City Trash Pandas. It's not a monkey though. The Chargers lost. It's the Bengals versus the Chiefs. Okay. Bengals. Didn't the Bengals do that song, Walk Like an Egyptian? Or am I thinking of something else? Yeah, oh, that's the Bengals. Close enough. I hope. Man, I want the Bengals to win the Super Bowl. Like suddenly, it's like rock star women come out. That would be great. Can you use this form? Hannah, if you give me an example sentence, why don't you try to make an example sentence? I think you might answer your own question by making an example sentence that uses the form like literally. Like try to think literally what it means. My mom called the bagels the other day. No problem with that. I'll have my Bengals with locks. A couple people asking what time does the class start? The same time it starts every week. 2 o'clock in Pacific time. So you can always search Los Angeles time or Pacific time at 2 o'clock, and it's always that time for whenever there's a class. And you can find the schedule for classes. It's also always on the document, which has, I just posted it in the chat. Document has all future live streams that are coming up, all the recent ones. So you can always know if there's another live stream next week. There is not a live stream for next week though. Again, I will be filming a special project. I don't want to spoil it. You'll see in a week and a half. but I'll just say I'm filming 7 videos. So that might give you a hint as to what type of videos they are. Specifically the number 7. Videos about 7 people. Okay. Yeah, pancake, you can use that too. 비가 오려고 해요. Like it's kind of like more, it's gonna rain. Not as in it's right about to, though. That's simply implying that it's going to. Something will happen. So it's a little different nuance there. But you can use that form if you don't need to express some things like barely happening. You can use that form instead. It's a different meaning, but you can use it. Like you can say 단추가 떨어지려고 그래요. 단추가 떨어지려고 그래요. Like my button is trying to fall off. Like that. It's a different nuance. It doesn't mean it's barely hanging on, but it means it's going to fall off. Daniela. Oh, hold on. I gotta look up. Every time I gotta look up the conversion. Yes, that's like $13. Thank you. I wish YouTube converted it so I didn't have to check it. Daniela, hi Billy. Thank you for the lesson as usual. Yeah, thank you as usual for the donation. Do you think pets can distinguish between languages? I don't know. And you say pets. If you say pets, we have to take out of that mix animals that aren't pets. So we have to take out like chimpanzees and monkeys because those are not technically pets. You can't have them as pets, but they might. I'm going to guess no. Like if you tell a dog a command in Korean and then you say the command in English, they obviously won't know. But if you taught them a mixture of different language commands, I'm sure they would know it. Because I think they're just caring about the sound. But I don't know. I'm not a pet teaching expert. My opinion would be no. They just distinguish between different sounds. But would they know someone speaking a different language? I don't think they understand English or the main language to begin with. They just know a few of their keywords, like the words that they're used to hearing all the time. And if they don't hear any of them, they might think, what are they talking about? What are they talking about? I don't know if they'd really think, oh, they must be using a different language. I don't know. I don't know anything about that. That's a good science question. Maybe someone here knows. Let me give you a few dabs for your donations, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and some cents for the exchange rate. Kevin Finch, could you say that's a bulletproof hint perhaps one of the Boy Scouts could figure out? I'd say, I don't know if I can really tell you much other than I might be using a purple background for my videos. Yeah, we'll see. Hey, Jared Hopfinger, love your book, My Korean Made Simple. Okay. Great book. Maybe someday I can go to Korea. I'm learning from my teacher. Thank you for the good work. I will keep learning. Thank you, Jarrett. Let me give you 5 dabs if that's okay. For your $5 donation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I really appreciate it. Of course, I'm able to do all of these live streams and the channel and everything. It's thanks to my supporters. It's thanks to everything like that's related to this. So not just the donations, but also the advertisements from the YouTube random advertisements, Patreon, merchandise, all that stuff helps me to keep doing what I am doing. No pets like dogs can't distinguish between languages. They go by your tone of voice. They go by the sound and emotions and the tone of voice. That makes perfect sense. Traga says, I've almost finished the 100 beginner course. Awesome. What number are you on? And do you have a goal for when you're going to be finishing it? And do you have an idea yet of what you want to do after it's done? yeah, so next I've got those 7 videos coming up, and then we've got some other fun videos I'm going to be filming. So I'm pretty excited to start work on those. I have a lot of videos I want to make this year. This year I have a lot of fun video ideas I'd like to do, a little bit different than usual. So I'll still be doing my live stream schedule as long as I'm in the US. I'll still be doing my regular, Korean teaching and everything like that. But I'm also going to be adding on some extra fun videos that are all still related to Korean, but are more entertaining to watch for more people. So yeah, it'll be a good improvement. 86. I think I'm going to purchase your books and watch the live class. Live classes. There are so many live classes. For the live classes, I might recommend actually just get the outlines and get the outlines for the lessons. And if there's a lesson where you feel like I need some more help with that, then watch the live stream, the abridged version for it. And if you watch the abridged version and you feel like I still don't quite get it, or I kind of get it, watch the full version of the live stream and download the worksheet. That's probably what I would do, because I think it might be too much. It might be a bit overwhelming if you're just adding in the live streams by themselves. You might not need the live streams for common topics that you already kind of know. Like if you already know about how to use the Jiman form, you don't need to watch the full 10-minute live stream for it. You can just kind of review the outline really quick and be like, okay, yeah, I got it. Samantha says, do you have an intermediate course? No, I don't think I'm going to be making an intermediate course, because the point of the course was just to be a quick foundation for, not quick, but a basic foundation for people to have, like, they feel like, I want to learn Korean. I don't know where to start. I actually want to learn some Korean. Like, I don't want to just learn phrases, but I really actually want to learn some Korean. So there you go. That's the course. For people who are interested beyond that, an intermediate course, like an actual course that would take someone through the intermediate level, would be well over 100 episodes, as much longer than I did. And each lesson would be much more than the short format that I was able to do. Because I was only doing the basic level stuff, I was able to keep the lessons mostly short, like around 10 minutes on average for most of them. But, and within 100 episodes. But if I were to do intermediate, the lessons would have to be much longer. I would have to do, each lesson is going to be like 20 to 30 minutes to make it that simple. And there would be way more example sentences, and I'd have to do way more than 100 lessons because there's way more than 100 topics to talk about. It would just be like a gigantic series, which I would be happy to do. The problem is the number of people who watch through the whole first series in the first place isn't high enough for me to be able to spend my entire year making an intermediate course. I don't have enough money in savings to let myself do something like that. Now, if one of you out there happens to be a millionaire, you got rich somehow, and you're like, I really want an intermediate course, I don't need it, but I want the world to see it, then you can pay me a year's salary and I will make an intermediate course, because I can't do it because financially it wouldn't make sense for me. I wouldn't be able to do any of my other videos, and I'd have to only focus on that course because of how gigantic it would be. So yeah, probably not, but I do have plans for other courses. So if you like that sort of course format, I do have plans for at least another, well, currently another one, maybe next year, and then another one after that. I already have them planned. I already know what I'm doing and the story and everything. I just have to wait until I'm finished with my current set of videos. But yeah, there will be more, and I will be making them free again, just like the current ones. So that's going to continue. I like that format. I can pay you in McDonald's. Say no more. Say no more. Intermediate plateau. Yes, blue candies. There, I have a video actually called Intermediate Plateau on my channel. So if you search for that, you'll find a video I did back, I think it was from 2017 or something, about how to get past the intermediate plateau. So check that out. That'll answer your question. Politeness master videos. Yes, I did the politeness series, which is supposed to be for intermediates. So after you finish the beginner course, and once you've started to practice speaking, then I would recommend check out the master politeness levels course. That is everything you need to know about politeness levels, everything you need to know about it. And yeah, I had a lot of fun making that. And that's actually the course I wanted to make before I did the beginner course. That was like the original course I wanted to do because I'm really passionate about that. But the other courses I have planned I'm also looking forward to. They should be fun. You'll get to learn Kiket's backstory, which is going to be something new. Never got to learn that before. So you'll get to learn about Kiket's backstory. You'll get to learn a lot of new cool stuff. So that'll be coming up in the next course. But again, that might not be until next year. It's just going to take a lot of time to make another 30 episode course for free and film, all the lesson parts, write the lesson parts. There are a lot of stuff to do. And also, behind the scenes, I also have to make all the 3D scenes for it that, they see those backgrounds and everything. All the fake set, I have to make that too. I don't go to like free3dsets.com or something and download them. I have to make those. So it's a lot of work to do, but I would like to do that again. The politeness course is finished. Yes, that's finished. That was I believe 27 episodes. I think 25, 26, something around there. Yeah. That was a shorter course because it's all about one topic. And I went completely in depth on that. So like literally every question you might have about politeness levels is in that course. Really. Like every question I've ever been asked is in there. I love the hands videos. Which hands videos? Oh, the hands, like the hand symbols video. That was a long time ago. I don't even remember that one. All right. Any other questions? I'll take questions. Okay. Just like 3 more minutes and then I'm going to go. 3 more minutes. Can't stay too long. I have to edit this video that I'm filming right now. This one right now. And if there's a course you would like to see, so if you really want to see the intermediate course, let me know you want to see it. I take all of your feedback seriously, and I have a gigantic notepad filled with notes, like suggestions from you. So when I keep getting suggestions from people over and over and over again, even if it's something that I didn't want to do at first, when I see lots and lots of people make the same suggestion, I realize, oh, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe people do really want this more than I think they do. And then I do it. And that's led to a lot of videos I have. As well as the videos I'm doing this week. The 7 videos that I'm going to be filming this week also came about like that too. So many people requested it. So many people. I thought, I don't want to do this. Doesn't make any sense. But so many people requested it. So I thought about a way to do it that would make me happy. That would be in the same style that I've been doing before. And yeah. A themed series. What do you mean a themed series? Lynn, I actually did a Korean historical drama speaking class, a live stream. Now, it doesn't go into too much detail because the grammar that they use in historical dramas is not really old Korean grammar for the most part. They're not really speaking like they would have spoken at the time. But I did a lesson about that where I talked about some of the most common grammar forms, some of the most common words to know, which they do use a lot of the vocabulary from that time though. And, yeah, so check that out. It's in the abridged courses playlist. I did it, I think back in 2018 or 2019. No, it wasn't that long ago. 2021. Okay, Bora Ghoul asked the highest amount of dabs you've done at once. I've gotten a $150 donation before. But I can't remember if I did 150 dabs for that. I have, though. I clearly remember doing 100 dabs, though, before for a $100 donation. Yeah, that's the highest I clearly remember would be 100. But yeah, I did once get a $150 donation, and I just can't remember if I did any dabs for it. It's possible I blacked that memory out of my mind that I did them, but I can't remember anymore. I don't think he's taking grammar questions. What do you mean? Grammar questions. Yeah, I can take grammar questions if it's something I haven't already taught, then I can teach it now. If it's simple. Natalie Luskin, I recall you being out of breath a couple of times. Yeah, if I did 100 dabs, I would have been out of breath quite a lot for that. KitKat. Yeah, KitKat. Like I said, I'd like to show that the origin of KitKat. You've heard it first here. I don't like to announce my stuff before I do it in my videos, but I do sometimes do it during the beginning and end of my live streams for just people who really stick around and want to hear this. People who are really interested. I do share my upcoming plans, but you won't see me announce this on my actual official channel. Like you won't see me announce it on my YouTube or announce it on Twitter or anything like that until it's actually almost going to come out. So I'm just letting you know, it's still a long ways away. It might not be until like more than a year from today. It just depends on how my other videos go. Do you have a list of topics you're going to cover but haven't added to the poll yet? Yes, I do. I do have a big list of those. 대박이다 and 다행이다. Those are completely different words. 대박. Wow, incredible, amazing, slang. 다행이다 is to be fortunate. So 다행이 is like fortunately. Can we see the list? No, it's not organized. It'll be my notes about it combined with the general form, but not written out nicely, just the form. And then when I actually prepare the lessons, that's when I organize everything to these nice outlines. But I don't have the outlines prepared until I know which topic I'm doing. So I also sometimes make the lessons a bit topical. So even though I'll have tons of information, I'll delete a lot of the stuff that's not really relevant. So like, for example, when I did the common verbs for the lock form, I removed the ones that aren't so common because like, yeah, I'm not just going to bombard you with a bunch of verbs. So I picked out the 3 most common ones. What's the best way to support you? Right now it would be Patreon, I think. A couple people also just do direct donations through PayPal, but Patreon's fine. Patreon, it's really like, they only take like 5%. And I like it. It works pretty good. PayPal is similar. I think it takes like 1 or 2%. But really just watching my videos, participating here is, I like that. I like when I do live streams and I see lots of people chatting, asking questions. That makes me feel good. Okay, a couple more questions, then I'm going to go. Husa 떨다. Where'd you see it? It's just a verb. Are you asking about something specific? Grammar. Oh, I see. That was a grammar question? Oh, it's just a vocab question. 떨다 is like to, well, it could be a few things. 수다 떨다. I've never heard it. Where'd you see it? Let me check. 호들갑. You're talking about 호들갑? 호들갑. Not 호사, but 호들갑? That's different. Yeah, 호들갑. I think you mean 호들갑. Unless there's a different one you're talking about. Husa? I don't know. Husa looks like it's the same definition as sachi. Sachi is like an extravagant, something that's extravagant, like fancy, like a luxury item is a sachi item. But husa is a part of that. Never heard it. I search it, nothing comes up. Yep, searching it, not seeing anything. Unless you're talking about suda torda. Suda torda is like to chat, like to chit chat with someone. Not sure, but yeah, I don't know everything. Yeah, I'm not a native. I've never heard that before. In context, though, you probably would understand it. But without any context, I can't tell you. stuck with why hada man means half done, as in chirrup. Oh, yeah. Wendy, so hada man is from 다 말다. So like hada 말다. I actually did a live stream about this. I don't know when it was. The live stream was probably back at least a few weeks ago. Yeah. Okay. April 4th, 2021, I did a live stream about this form, 다 말다. So search my YouTube channel for a live stream called Stopping and Starting. Again, it was April 4th, 2021. But I'll tell you really quick, but you should watch the live stream because there's more information about it. But really, hada is like while you're doing something, you don't finish doing something and you stop doing something. So it's like doing something, you're not actually fully doing it. Like you haven't finished it. You're not properly doing it. That sort of meaning. But yeah, watch the live stream because there are lots of examples in there. And the man is the past tense of 말다. It's not the particle man, like only. hada man, like 한다 말다, 한다 말았다, 한다 man something. So it's adjective. So that's what it is. Having a luxurious outburst. Well, that could really be any drama. Let me search it up. Yeah, can't find it. Doesn't mean it's not a word. Just not able to find it. Yep, no idea. You should do a video reviewing. Mike, yeah, your wish will be granted. I already wrote it. But I have other stuff to film first. So we'll see that later. I have a lot of videos that I've already written. I have right on my computer right now, I have 23 videos already written. I haven't filmed them yet, but they're written. So I have to film them one at a time and then edit them. And then I can start the next one like that. Are you watching any K-drama right now? Right now, no. I'm not watching any K-drama. The last Korean drama that I actually watched was Squid Game. Oh no, I did watch that one, 지옥. 지옥 was on Netflix. That was also like right after Squid Game came out. People were like, oh, what do I watch now? And that was one of the ones that people watched along with 지금 우리 학교에, like the zombie one. That one also, I started watching that, but never finished that. I didn't finish either. But yeah, Squid Game was the last drama that I actually watched from beginning to end. Okay, I think that's enough for today. I don't want to go too much over time, and I should start editing. Thank you everyone for coming so much. Again, double thank you to my supporters today. Tongbin, Samantha, Wendy, Traga, Evan, Tesseract, Amy Lynn from New York, Daniela, Jarrett. Really appreciate all of your support. And thank you for coming. I will see you again next time. 그럼 다음에 또 봐.